My name is Dawn, and today I'm going to do an informational speech on the best sushi making ever. I never wanted my kids to go to another sushi restaurant because it's so expensive. Making sushi at home can be very satisfying for your belly and for your pocketbook. In fact, making sushi and the rice is an art. Today I'm going to teach you how to make that art. At sushi parties over here, everybody always says that we have so much fun. I went to gourmet.com for 8 great tips of sushi making at home. From 2012, they say that Japanese sushi chefs go to school for 7 years. In fact, the first 2 years is just perfecting the rice. Gathering all of your equipment is the first thing that you need to do. Just make a list of everything that you need. The wooden bowl, the ingredients, go ahead and get those a couple days before, but make sure that the fish is nice and fresh and that you get the fish or the shrimp that morning. What we've gathered here is eel, crab, avocado, cucumber, cream cheese, and seaweed strips. We also make our own spicy mayonnaise. Today I'm going to show you how to do the rice. After gathering all of your equipment, I like to use the Black & Decker rice cooker. It's perfect. It takes about 9 minutes. You take however much rice you want, and we pour it into a colander, and I make sure that we rinse it off really well. It takes about 4 minutes just to kind of move the rice around in the colander. Make sure all of the water goes from a little bit cloudy to clear. After that, we pour it into the rice maker. And then once you do that, you're going to fill with water, put your hand down, and fill with water only enough to barely cover your hand. Once you do that and your rice cooker's on, it will go from warm to cooking, and that takes about 9 minutes for the perfect rice. From homemade sushi rolls in 2013, from my kitchen ventures, we also make a liquid that goes on the rice to make it very sticky. We just call it sticky rice. You're going to take a half of a cup of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 cup of sugar. You're going to blend all of that into a pot on low fire. Takes just a couple of minutes. And what you're going to do once you blend those 4 ingredients over the low fire and you get it into just a liquid and your sugar dissolves, you'll bring it back over to your rice. And the way you want to cut through the rice is just to fold the rice over and do little slices like this so that you're not breaking up the rice. You pour a little bit, turn and fold your rice, pour a little bit and turn and fold your rice. After you let that sit for about 45 minutes, it becomes nice and sticky. Once your rice is complete and you've let it dry, make sure that you have a bowl of water here because this is going to be very sticky and you want to keep your fingers nice and clean. Also your knife or anything that you use, you want to keep it nice and clean. So make sure you have a bowl of water, an extra plate to put your sushi roll, and your, here I have a dish towel just to wipe off my hand. So you're going to put a little bit of rice on the bamboo mat. You'll dip your fingers in to keep it nice and smush it down the way that you want, not too much, and whenever you fill your ingredients, you're going to put about 1/3 of the ingredients, or you're going to fill about 1/3 of the rice. My kids like the seaweed, so we put seaweed on it, cucumbers, a little bit of avocado, if you'll pass the crab. A little bit of crab. And some cream cheese. To roll this, you just take your fingers and hold everything in there. You're going to roll that bamboo mat. Careful to roll it with the rolls. Sometimes when we start at our sushi parties, people have a tendency to want to roll this way, but your mat isn't going to go that way. Once you get it a little formed, you can move it back onto your mat just to make a very nice tight roll there. Keep your knife nice and clean or it will get sticky. Take off any excess rice that you have on the ends. Here you have the perfect sushi roll with the perfect rice. I also took from gourmet.com and 8 great tips for homemade sushi rolls that fresh is the best when considering making your sushi rolls. So any of your salmon, your tuna, your fish, make sure that you get that morning. Also, less is more when it comes to fillings. If I were to pile this super high, then I'd come out with a roll that would be about that big around. Whereas now we have just the perfect shape. Cutting everything into thin strips and having it prepared before is the way to achieve that less is more attitude. The final part of making the sushi roll is the roll with the bamboo mat and cling wrap over it. Sushi making is definitely an art. Gather all of your necessary equipment. Once the rice is perfected, you'll have a lifetime of family happiness. Presenting the perfect sushi roll, never eat out again.